Okay, hello. Today is October 7th, 2025. Took three trades today, and I will go over them now. First, I wanted to start with today we're at all-time highs, but we had an SMT with YM, so those were the things that I was really looking at the most right now. And not too much information from just that, but I did take it into account. For the 4 hour, I wasn't really trading on the 4 hour today, except for the fact that we just took out these highs on ES and Q, but not on YM. So bearish SMT. But what I was really looking at was on the 1 hour. We at 9:30 we were getting ready to close in this gap, or sorry, getting ready to close inside of this range. And I was kind of flipping back and forth, and I'll explain why in a second, but this was overall the best target for today, and then lower as well. The main reason, so before this candle closed, I was flipping bullish and bearish, and it was mainly because of this 30-minute. And it was because this candle, we had a 30-minute CRT as well, and this candle had such a huge wick, and I was like, okay, this probably is going to go up here and take it out, and then we'll see some shorts. Technically we did that on YM, but that was the basis of my first two trades, so I'll go over that. And even once this candle had opened, what we did is we were really choppy, so we formed the wick and then came down into this gap and then shot back up. And I'll show you right now why I didn't think longs would be good, and it was just because we didn't get that 5-minute CASD at all. So I failed the 5-minute. So at that point, I was like, yeah, we're gonna go lower. And the basis of the trades, let me show the 15-minute. There was a pretty good 15-minute right here, right at market open, but there was no entry for me. Let me show it real quick. You would have entered before market open, and right at market open, we just ran down. So, I guess if you were on before market open, you could have entered here. If not, right as market open, there really wasn't anything unless you positioned yourself ahead of market open, which I did not. But the first two trades, the first one we had actually not really a CRT per se, but we took out this candle and we closed back into the range. Actually, let me show the first trade first. Here's the first one. There's a 15-minute gap. It wasn't the Flowstate V2, but it was a 15-minute gap, and it was based on the idea that this was kind of failing. And now that I look at it, this never failed. We actually tapped it perfectly and then ran down, so that was high of day. So I guess it was a little premature, but this was the first trade. I had my stop here, and targets were up here. Once we had gotten, we were really strong on this candle, I moved we came up here, and this candle was really strong, pushing up, so I moved my stop down to here just to mitigate loss, which was a little bit premature, and it did stop me out. And it was all paper though, but it did stop me out, and I was like, okay, this was stupid. So then I re-entered here once we tapped into the CASD, entered whatever candle that was after I got stopped out. So I think it was as soon as I got stopped out, I entered back. I believe my stop was at the same place, and this time I was just targeting this high. And this one actually it didn't fill me. I have a screenshot I can show. It didn't fill me here, even though it went like 5 ticks above this, or however many ticks this is, which I guess was just trading view lag or whatever. Sometimes if I don't reset my trading view, lags terribly, but so that was the basis of that second trade. And yeah, the reason I didn't go for that, we took out this range, so this is a 15-minute range. I could have gone break even there, but and this actually led into the third. Well, this didn't lead into a third trade, but a third trade right here. As we're tapping into this, we have an SMT. We're tapping into that 1-minute CASD, and we have a range. We close back in the range, so at 10 a.m. you're looking for a 10 a.m. open, high, low, close, and it would have been this right here. Could have been it. Actually, we got the CASD right here. So this trade, depending on where you would put your take profit or stop, could have got break even there with maybe a partial, or if you had a higher take profit, higher stop loss, you could have held for a bit longer, probably even held down to this 1 hour range. Let me see if that was a good ROI. could have partialed there and then held to those lower lows, but that wasn't the trade I took. That was probably the best trade. And the 1 hour, there really wasn't anything because there was no 5 minute CASD. It would have been all the way down here, which is where that low is anyways, unless you had taken it on YM, which didn't really make sense because NQ was chopping around anyways. But so was that. Let me look at that again. So it was actually kind of pretty clean. Could have entered. I mean, you definitely could have entered there, but you would have got stopped at break even before we went. But yeah, because I would have for sure went break even there. But that's fine. I mean, you could have targeted whatever you wanted to. But so the trade I took was this trade. It was right here because I missed that 1 minute CISD, which was right here, I believe. So I took because I mean, I still wanted that 5 minutes. And if we had a 5 minute here, that would have been a really good setup. But we didn't really get that. So I was looking at this after we closed under this. I kind of use this as like a pseudo order block or CISD because we didn't really have a real one. And my entry was this right here. Stop was above this candle's high, which was 50% of that range or of the order block as well. And we almost came up and hit it. And my target was the 1 hour low. So it was probably the closest stop I could have taken. And it wasn't super, super comfortable, but I guess I could have had a much higher stop and just taken profits lower. But I should have expected us to go a lot lower, but it wasn't something I was too crazy about. That was it for that. What I could have done better, that first trade, probably could have been just, if I didn't move my stop, I could have gotten here, stop there, got out there, or taken a partial or broke even there. But I couldn't really have avoided that chop. And then the second trade, it should have been more based around the 15 minute, but I'm fine taking this kind of pseudo. And I feel like this was a little bit more confirmation anyways. But yeah, so that was it for today.